Welcome to From the Baseline with Premier Basketball Report. I'm Mark Williams, Premier Basketball Global Scout, and we appreciate you tuning in today. This is episode 32. If you want to know when the latest episode drops, subscribe to this channel, PBR Hoops on YouTube, and then you'll know when the newest episodes, whether it's a Worldwide Hoops or From the Baseline or some of the other content that we're going to be producing here in the future drops, you'll get notifications. And so subscribe below to be in the know. Hey, before we get into our show, this week's been a different week for Texas, for the South, for Louisiana, to some parts of lower New Mexico where I live, but especially for our Texas and Louisiana folks, and especially down south, San Antonio and Houston and Austin, and you know, the winter storm that's come through, both of them that's come through this week, and there's a lot of people who have been without power for a couple days, and water and pipes burst, and just the at times what the cold weather can bring as far as chaos. And we just want to start off the show by saying, hey, our prayers are with you. We're here with you as we kind of battle through this as well, and we're here to help any way that you can. So if there's anything you need or any way that we can help, whether it's me, Jason, or Shane, we're here. Hit us up on Twitter. If you got our number, call. You know, we'll help any way that we can. But you know, our prayers and thoughts are with everybody as we're weathering the storm, and pray for everybody's safety. And so, but different week, that's for sure. I don't think I've ever known Houston to get snow, and the amount of snow that they've had is historical. Is really what it is. So, prayers and thoughts are with them. So, hey, we want to highlight some commitments. We're going to get the show started with our commitment section, and congratulations to everybody who's made their commitments this week, and there have been some. And so we want to make sure and highlight them. And so first off, Marlie Dickerson committed to Niagara University. Jaiyah, captain, committed to Wilmington College. Shelby Jeans committed to Fairmont State University. Bre'Amber Scott committed to Texas Tech. Jaiyah Harris Smith committed to Ole Miss. Trayanna Crisp committed to Arizona State. And then Ghylissa Knowles committed to Albany State University. On the international side, we got one, Becky Mitchell from the UK, committed to San Diego Christian University. And so we want to congratulate all of them and with their commitments and those big decisions that they've made this week. And we look forward to them playing and seeing their success there at those universities with those programs. So congratulations to all of them on their commitments this week. We're going to check in with Shane now, his Basketball Soul blog, and for the week, and kind of get his thoughts and updates from this week of basketball. So check out and enjoy Shane Laflin.
All right, so coming to you this week under some interesting circumstances. I'm sure people are familiar with the fact that Texas has gotten some inclement weather, and it's got some people without power, which is tough. Currently, my water is off, and that affects the ability to heat, so the heater is out. Not complaining, definitely not making a joke of it, but it's yesterday was cool, today it's cold. So interesting circumstances. I hope everybody's doing all right that doesn't have power, and figuring this thing out with the water being off and things like that. You know, work continues. The internet was out for a couple days, but we have it back, and then like I said, I'm fortunate enough to still have the power, so making it work. I appreciate everybody reaching out. It means a lot. People have been checking in every day as we communicate with each other, and help everybody's families okay in Texas and all that kind of good stuff. But I'll send this over to Mark, and Mark will produce it. So quick topics for this week. We'll touch on a player, Sierra Toomey, out of Dunmore High School, out of Pennsylvania, 2023 player. 6'3", 6'4", skilled, long, total package type of player. I think that may be one that a lot of people haven't seen. Watched some film on her from a game from, I think, the 13th, and just am really intrigued. I think she's gonna have a breakout summer once we kind of get back to some normalcy. Really good player. So you might hear me now. You'll be listening later. So I'm looking forward to that. Her breakout summer is what I'm saying. We had our top 25 power rankings and the high school teams published this week after what I feel like was, some fair timing to get everybody with some games under their belt. Unfortunately, a couple of those teams have since had to finish their season, so their season's over. So that's an ever-evolving process as well. So stay tuned there. Some games looking forward to this week. Hopkins and Minnetonka actually play tonight. They tip in minutes here. Actually, I'm coming to you Thursday night. Texas playoffs hopefully gets back on track here pretty soon. I'm seeing some plans for Saturday games. Obviously, the weather kept games from being played the end of last week and the beginning of this week. Florida playoffs continue. Indiana playoffs continue. Georgia starting their stuff soon. Game on Saturday I'm looking forward to, St. John Vianney versus Red Bank Catholic, two good teams. We saw today the announcement of the McDonald's All-American Game nominees, so congratulations to everybody who got nominated. Coupled with that was the unfortunate announcement. I think it's not going to surprise anybody that McDonald's announced that there will be no game again this year. So they're going to do a virtual celebration with the players and the families or whatever, but unfortunately no physical game this year. Just one of those things. We need to get to the summer and hopefully everything will be behind us as far as COVID is concerned. The roster announcement they're looking for here pretty soon as well, so that will be something for everybody to look forward to. We also saw the NCAA formally announce that the dead period is going to be extended through the end of May. Again, this doesn't really surprise, I think, anybody. I think there was hope for maybe the May eval period to be live, but this doesn't come as a surprise for anybody who's trying to stay informed and ahead of the curve there. As far as opportunities and events, I think in the places, that have been playing basketball, they'll have their protocols and their limitations, but you're still going to be able to play, have exposure in the spring. In Texas here, we've been fortunate. We were able to do that. We executed some things last year very well, led by our events staff and team, led by Kathy King. So we should be all right there through May, but we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth in the coming days as far as strategy and events that have proven to be able to provide rosters, a reputable live stream, and maybe even some other features. Internally, we are going to start working on our 22 through 24 and start maybe a watch list for 25 as far as our re-rank efforts, and then that will include maybe a little bit of a revising effort with the 2021 class, which again, curveballs here and there with us as far as everybody that enrolled early. So we'll have to discuss what's fair in that and how to handle that as well. So anyway, that's what we're working on internally, among other things. Event-wise, looking forward to our, Prime Event Regional Series kicking off in March with the Prime Event Texas on into Midwest, on into South, on into the West, and then on into the East. Then, of course, the Prime Final in August. And then our main events, obviously, with Heart of Texas Super 64 and the End Game, all that kind of good stuff. So short and sweet this week. Thanks for tuning in. Definitely want to have more dialogue about these playoffs and things going into high schools. And then, like I said, once again, wishing everybody the best that's, victim to some circumstances with the inclement weather as far as the power and those things are concerned. Thinking about you guys. Appreciate, again, all the feedback. And we will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.
Hey, welcome back. And we appreciate that update, Shane. Praying for you as you're in Austin with all that weather. I know you've had a couple of days this week where you've had no electricity. It's been awfully cold. And so, but appreciate the update. Hey, top performances for this week. And really, we're going to highlight 3 from North Carolina that between the 11th through the 15th, really just kind of one-upped each other. On February 11th, Reagan Richardson, the number 34 ranked player in the ESPNW PBR rankings, the University of Georgia commit, scored 49 in a game, only to be upped on the following day on February 12th by number 3 ranked player at the ESPNW PBR rankings, Jaiyah Rivers, the South Carolina commit, scored 50 points in a game, only to be upped by 2022 Ashante Lynch, who on this past Monday, the 15th, dropped 51 points in a game. Now, I don't care what level you're playing at, 49, 50, and 51 points is impressive to be able to score that much within a game. And so, but Ashante is a 2022 recruit, and she plays with Team Felton out of North Carolina. So she's definitely a player to check into and check out and see. And so, but those are our top performances really from this past about week and a half, 2 weeks. And so we want to celebrate those because that's quite an accomplishment to score 49, 50, and 51. And we look forward to seeing Reagan at the University of Georgia and Sanaya at South Carolina University, or University of South Carolina. So, but those are our top performances for the week, and they are top performances. So, all right, we're going to check in with Jason Key on his Shooting the J blog, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get an update on the Texas playoffs and what's going on basketball wise for him. And so, check out this update.
Happy Frosty Friday, everyone. What a week in Texas, huh? Crazy weather. Unprecedented cold, snow and ice, and shut down for the whole week. On the basketball side, no playoff games were played since Friday. Actually, there may have been a couple that got in last Saturday, but very few. We got to clean up the first round for a few schools, and then a lot of schools are going to start their second round tomorrow. So, man, what a week. But great. We still got some college basketball in. Obviously, because of the Texas weather, there were some cancellations, especially regionally. But yesterday, Indiana, Michigan, and then Tennessee, South Carolina last night were both terrific. Tennessee really dangerous. The SEC always. I mean, that league is really deep. Tennessee's really dangerous, I think, coming the tournament. The Indiana, Michigan, same. Indiana, back and forth game. Indiana pulls it out. Big Ten, I think, underratedly deep. So Indiana, another one Indiana or Michigan, like that's going to be a tough draw for somebody come tournament time. Here locally, as I said, mostly starting the second round tomorrow. There are a couple of first round games that we're going to go that have to be cleaned up. But some really good matchups. South Grand Prairie, Allen, here locally. Richardson, Plano. Down in Houston area, you got Fort Bend Dulles and Jersey Village. Down in Austin, you got Austin High and San Antonio Reagan. I think that's going to be a really good game. 5A, Lake Dallas, Mansfield, Timberview. I got a feeling that's going to be a really good game. Frisco, Lone Star, and South Oak Cliff. South Oak Cliff's gotten better as the season's gone on, so I think that'll be a really interesting game. College Station, Pflugerville, Connolly, Victoria, Veterans Memorial, and Victoria East down south. And then it seems like in 4A you're going to have Canyon and Hardin Jefferson seem to be on a collision course. I would tell you, watch out for Dallas Pinkston, 2023 Victoria Flores. Really good player, and you can see they're in rhythm now, and they got a chance to come out of Region 2 there. And in 3A, the defending 4A champs reclassified to 3A in Fairfield, and the Brackens cousins. So they're both 23s, McKenna and Shadeja Brackens. Tony Brackens is their father, who some of you may know played football at Texas, all pro for the Jacksonville Jaguars a few years back. So the genetics with McKenna, that's McKenna's dad, are real, but her and Sadej are really good. It's something college coaches need to catch, the Brackens cousins. As far as my player of the week, I'm going to go with the unsigned senior out of Pflugerville Hendrickson, Zoe Nelson. Zoe's been on the radar for quite a while. I've recently had quite a few calls on her, interest calls, that kind of thing. So she's put up near triple-double numbers on a fairly consistent basis this year. So affecting the game in all phases. Got good size, 6 foot, 6 foot, long wing. So I think she's going to be a good late get for somebody. As far as anything else, obviously, congratulations to all the McDonald's nominees. That was awesome. We expect that the actual rosters will be announced here fairly soon. Obviously, as McDonald's announced yesterday, it will be a virtual game. So there's not going to be a true game again this year as we hopefully get through the ending stages of COVID and all that. So, man, to everybody, prayers to everybody. I have a lot of family members that had a lot of issues this week with electricity and burst pipes and that kind of thing. So, I mean, there's a lot of people going through a lot of struggle. Prayers out to everybody. We're looking for warm weather here in the next couple of days. It's actually supposed to be in like the 60s or 70s by the middle of next week, which seems just bizarre after going through this week. But so everybody stay safe. Let's get through this. It's almost time. As we get through the high school season, we're in the championship season of the year. So to all you kids going for a state championship and all over the country as we start getting our way through the spring, best of luck and stay healthy and stay productive, and can't wait to see you guys as we open back up, hopefully come this summer.
Hey, welcome back. We appreciate the update from Jason, shooting the J block, and we know he's been going through the snow and everything there in Dallas, and so pray him and everybody else there that they're safe and electricity's on, water comes on quicker, and they just get back to safety. So okay, little global update. We kind of have quite a bit of global update. It's kind of one of those weeks that a lot of stuff was announced, and so which is good. First things first, last year, because of COVID, they couldn't have the European Championships or the U17 World Championships. So FIBA came up with this idea of a skills challenge. Now, last year they did it as an under 17 in replace of the under 17 World Cup. But FIBA has decided to keep it, and they're going to move it to the under 15s, which is exciting because it gives those under 15s a taste of representing their country, being part of a FIBA competition. And so they're going to have 32 teams. All regions will be represented, meaning FIBA Americas, FIBA Europe, FIBA Africa, FIBA Asia will all be, will all be represented. And so there'll be 32 teams total, and it's going to be open to all 213 federations within FIBA. And I'm sure they'll have some qualifying, and be interesting to see how they plan that out. But that's exciting news, because it adds just another layer to the development of the top kids within the countries. And the skills challenge was just a fun thing that they did. So that's exciting that they're going to keep it, and it'll be at the under 15s. And so at that level. The other news was the dates and location for the under 19 World Cup was announced. For the women, it's going to be August 7th through the 15th. And it's going to be in Hungary. And so that's always it's kind of a mix of for the United States of players who may already be on college campus, or players who are going to step onto college campus. From a world standpoint, depending on the country, there's typically some kids who haven't made their choice if they're going to play pro or made a college choice yet. And so it's interesting because you kind of see them on all different levels. And so definitely be an event to see. I anticipate everybody from the world will participate, but I don't know if they're going to allow fans. But it'll be live streamed on FIBA's YouTube channel, and then rosters will be on the FIBA site. So the Spanish championships were announced. Usually they play in May, but they moved all three of them to June. And so from June 12th to June 30th, they're going to play their Spanish championships under 14s, under 16s, under 18s. And so those are always highlights of the year. Great competition. And then in the last 5 years, we've seen a lot of quality Spanish players coming over from Spain. And so I anticipate that continuing because there's not a lot of money in the pro leagues there in Spain to keep their top kids. Now, some of your top kids will stay, but there's still a lot of quality talent that are coming over to the States and to help and play at universities and to help colleges and coaches win games. So those will be live streamed, and there's rosters as well. So another exciting news, and one of my favorite events, is Australia's under 18 championships. All signs look like we're going to play, which is fantastic. I know they've had some short shutdowns there in Victoria. It's going to be played in the state of Victoria, right outside of Melbourne. And so all signs look like they're going to play. And South Australia, New South Wales, Tasmania have all announced their under 18 teams. And so PBR Global subscribers will be getting those and with rosters and classes and availability and all that kind of stuff as we get closer to the event. And so, that's exciting news that event looks like it's going to happen. And so that'll be in mid-April is when the Australian under 18s will take place. And so we're excited. I anticipate from my contacts in Australia, sounds like the conversation has been to play, but once again, I don't think we'll have fans. Or if we do, it'll be very limited to family. And so anticipate those will be live streamed as well. And so, but that's our global update. I know there's quite a bit. If you did not check out the From the Baseline Worldwide Hoops Edition this week, we interviewed 2022 Katie Jancheska from Great Britain and had a great conversation with her. So if you didn't check that out, definitely look in on our site there at PBR Hoops on YouTube, and you'll see it in the Worldwide Hoops playlist. And so ask you to check that out. So we appreciate you tuning in and checking out the show this week. If you have not subscribed, hit subscribe below. We'd love for you to subscribe and be in the know when we drop another episode. Last announcement before we go, starting in March, this episode is going to move to Tuesdays. And so kind of preparing for our club season travel and being able to update after tournaments and stuff like that. And so starting in March, this episode will be on Tuesdays. So, but we appreciate you tuning in. For Premier Basketball Report, I'm Mark Williams, and we're coming to you from the Baseline.